Hey, welcome to the Team Babe podcast. I'm Jason, and I'm Babe.
And I'm Robin, and I'm Babe.
What's up? How are you? How do you do? What's shaking?
How's your father?
What's crack-a-lackin'?
Did you feel that?
Did I feel that? Was it the earth shaking? Was it a rumble and quake rocking down Southern California, down those fault lines?
No, man.
Was that what it was? I didn't feel that.
No. It's way more mellow than that.
Yeah, it's sort of a wafting, a warm embrace of sorts.
Yeah. It's like a cool breeze.
A cool breeze.
Yeah.
Coming off of the sea and over the mountains.
Some people would call that Keanu, but I just call it cool breeze.
Can you?
Yeah, so this is our cool breeze segment.
Yeah.
This is where we update you on all the random nonsense.
Just, the cool stuff that us cool kids are getting our cool selves into.
And just, shooting the shit and, getting caught up, as they say.
Yeah. And this came from not just a little shout out to our man in Amsterdam, Keanu Reeves. That's not where he's from, and that's not how you pronounce his name. But, Who
did it? Oh, you want me to say where this came from?
Where this came from. Yeah, okay, so, allegedly, Kenyu's name, according to Greg Proops, and then I heard it on another podcast, but I don't know if they were just spouting that, so this is podcast number 3, and I'm sure I've mentioned it before. It means a cool breeze over the mountains.
Yeah.
Right? And then we have an insurance agent.
We do.
From back up in the ding. Who, and we've mentioned this before on the podcast, but I think just once, who, signed off on the phone, like his over and out was cool breeze.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Or was it an email?
We were negotiating an insurance, policy, and we finally got it all worked out. And I was like, "All right, that sounds good to me." And he was like, "All right, cool breeze," and then he just hung up.
Cool breeze, bro. Yeah, I didn't know. I was thinking about that recently. Like, do you think he misheard? Like, is that a thing that people say?
I think it is. I think it definitely is. Like, from a different era. Like, his era was probably like 70s.
Okay.
And that would have been his youth.
I would like to get confirmation from our listeners who were cognizant, who were awake, whose lights were on in the 70s.
Well, actually, you know what? Maybe I'll just send this to dear old Charles and see what he says.
You're going to send him the podcast?
Yeah, man. He's like one of my biggest fans.
He'll be like, "Are you recording that at home? You're going to need a higher deductible on your home insurance," or some shit. Like, there's going to be something that, he'll pin on us.
No way.
Anyway, he said cool breeze, and since then, we've been shooting the cool breeze with you every episode.
Yeah.
Whether you knew it or not. That's what we were doing.
And we're just pointing it out now.
On our sheet. So yeah.
Right?
Usually, yeah, okay, let's just give you a little rundown on how the show usually goes, all right? There's some notes. There's an intro. I don't know if you're picking up on this or if you noticed this from listening to episodes. Nobody listens to this. Why are you listening to this right now? Yeah. Then, intro.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Do we go? Yeah, I'm not going to get too far into that.
Okay.
That bit's over.
All right. Cool. Shall we get into the catch up?
Let's actually shoot the cool breeze.
Let's do it. Let's actually do it in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we have these cats, and as per the usual, pets have all these health problems, and they have to go to the vet. I mean, what a bummer. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, they provide all this joy. Yay, we have cats. But on the flip side of that, there's all these things. So just since the last episode, we have acquired a new litter door area situation and discovered that the cat had basically like cat IBS.
Yeah, we've entered a new paradigm in our lives where, the cat the cat BS or cat IBS or CBS, but not like the Columbia
Channel.
Broadcasting Service. Is that what it is? Not that, but the cat IBS seems to be getting slightly easier to handle, a little more under control. And yeah, you mentioned like the well, I don't know, what the main factor is, but if I had to guess, it would be the drugs.
Yes. It was the $500 we spent at the vet this year.
Yeah.
And then also, you discovered this product, which I'm going to tag it because it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
So if you all have cats and you are like, all right, I want to be able to shut this door, but I want the cat to be able to go in and out, like a dog flap, you know,
a cat door,
a cat flap, a dog, yeah, all that. But you're like, I really don't want to cut a huge hole in the middle of the door. To do that, you can get a kitty corner.
Yeah.
And you only have to cut like one little corner of the door, and then it's like on a hinge. It's like ingenious.
Yeah, kitty corner with K's.
Yeah.
For both kitty and corner. But yeah,
It's working good.
Basically like the bottom corner of your door, whatever it is, interior door. I don't think this would be advisable for an exterior door.
No, because snakes and cockroaches and rats will come in.
All kinds of fun stuff. Badgers,
Ferrets, weasels.
Yeah. Oh, the weasels.
Weasels will get in.
Yeah, man.
Foxes.
Yeah. Polly Shore.
So, like,
Fraser.
If your cat needs to go into a room and have horrible diarrhea, then you don't have to listen to it or smell it.
Yeah.
Oh, this is like a major, vast improvement to our lives.
And this is one of those things that I saw, like, I don't know, while I was surfing Instagram probably or something, like how they serve you a zillion ads and sponsored posts or whatever now.
Oh, yeah.
But every once in a while, there's something on there where I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. And I mean, that's what all these companies that are selling this shit and Instagram is banking on, right? It's just like, yeah.
But this one actually happened to be good.
Yeah, and sometimes they are.
Yeah.
And that's what keeps you coming back.
It's not your friends and it's not your family.
No.
No. It's, this whole socializing business.
Yeah,
not really.
Yeah. But yeah, it's pretty slick, like how it works. Like basically it just opens this bottom corner of your door and your little weasels and ferrets and such can, wriggle under there and then like poop in peace. Like I'm sure it's nicer for them. It's dark in there. We're thinking about maybe putting some black lights or something cool, for them. So they could like kind of go in there. Cause when pets like go to the bathroom, they kind of like get this far away look in their eyes.
You go in the zone.
Dogs kind of do the same thing, but they're like hunched over, like looking really stupid and awesome.
Oh man.
But yeah, like, so that could like be mind expanding.
True. Because they do
for
sometimes seem like they're hallucinating.
Mind expansion for kitty.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that's our little tagline for Kitty Corner. And this has been Kitty Corner. Yeah. Anyway, so
Thanks.
we put this thing on, which involved a scary thing, which is like, hey, get a circular saw and don't cut your hand off, or cut like your table in half or whatever, but like cut this door that you want to cut.
You did a nice job, though. You did a nice job.
It worked.
It works.
Yeah, it was.
It was kind of an ordeal.
Touch and go there, just
like
getting the door off the hinges.
Like, why is everything to do with like fixing a problem like the worst thing ever?
I don't know, man. Anyway, our cats, the size and aggressiveness of our cats, giant eye maggots has really decreased with Kitty Cornerall or whatever.
I'm sure they'll want to use that in their advertising.
Yeah.
That little tagline.
I mean, we can clean it up in post, ADR it. I could probably get like AI to move my lips the right way and have it say all kinds of cool stuff.
I'm just going to say it now. This is an anti-AI podcast.
I mean, for you it is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you want to replace me with AI, just let me know. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure there would be some great rapport there.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be, maybe it'll be voiced by Scarlett Johansson. Like
oof. Oof.
That movie or whatever.
Rude.
Is that her
So
or
rude.
she or they or what's it? Z's or no?
Oh, I'm sorry. That would be the end.
Yeah.
That'd be a deal breaker, baby.
If I bring ScarJo on board.
To replace me?
Well, you said replace me with the AI.
I mean,
What if the AI is her? What if she's the AI?
she ain't me, baby.
No.
Okay.
That's true. She
And that's
ain't.
a problem.
But if you don't want to be here, and Scarlett Johansson does, not just joking,
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to talk about this later.
never be invited back.
I think we might have a problem. I'm just kidding.
You asked me, as a joke, if we had a problem about my skin, my avatar that I was playing on Fortnite, right? Because I was so crazy about Bobarista Halsey. Okay, we talked about Fortnite.
No.
Talked about the cats.
No.
So that's good.
I
Like,
said no. I don't know if you got this right.
check.
Hang on a second. When we were in the ocean floating around, I said, "Don't you like my Fortnite skin?"
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I was talking about.
No, I mean like a long time ago when I was playing Fortnite. Then you're like, are we going to have a problem with you?
I see.
But you were joking.
Oh, I see. I got you.
Yeah. So there's some jealousy issues. You seem
Well-
really upset.
Gosh, I mean, I'm just so excited about Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm so excited. My eyes light up. Whoa.
It's just all about Scarlett Johansson.
Well, what the hell else you been doing? You mentioned being in the ocean, and that's like, I don't think we've talked about that recently. Okay, mark this off. Yeah, so we've been getting in the ocean a little more regularly, which is nice. I think
It's summertime.
It's summertime. Yeah, and the living's easy.
Yeah.
Not really, but it's great. But it's not easy. Yeah, we were down there yesterday.
Yeah.
Just yesterday.
Yeah.
Getting wet, man.
Yeah.
And babe, you were swimming around out there and you were paddling around on a board.
I got on a surfboard for a minute.
Yeah.
I didn't stand up, but I got on the surfboard and sat on it.
Yeah.
And my feet weren't touching the ground. I mean, this is progress for
Yeah.
me. Okay.
Out there swimming around with some of those creatures of doom, no doubt.
Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking about them quite a bit, while I'm out there. But
Yeah.
I haven't seen any. I know they're there, but I don't see them. So,
Yeah.
but if I see
no
one,
evil, hear no evil.
it might be over, I might have a heart attack, but so far so good. And we caught a few waves, and Morgan got on a surfboard, and Charlie surfed. He got out there and popped up a couple times. And
Yeah.
it was fun.
It was a family affair.
It was a family affair.
It was nice. Yeah, all four of us were all in the water,
Yeah,
hanging out, man.
because the waves are like 6 feet high. When you don't know what you're doing, that's the perfect time to go out.
Oh, they weren't that high.
6 inches?
You said 6 feet.
Oh, sorry, I meant 6
I was like,
inches.
holy shit. I don't think that was 6 feet.
No, we wouldn't have been out there at 6 feet. No.
Yeah, we're weenies, man. We don't know what the fuck we're doing.
But it was really fun. We just floated around like a bunch of seals out there,
Yeah. Sea lions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That was
saw a
good.
skate.
Oh, you saw skate.
What'd
I
you
saw
see?
a big school of like little silver baitfish, like grunions or whatever the hell they are. you know?
Yeah. Did you see an octopus's garden?
No, I didn't, but I would like to.
That would be fun.
I do like to be under the sea.
Yeah.
Yeah, the little snorkeling.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. But yeah, man, what the hell else you been up to? You been watching anything good? Anything sea related or ocean related or
Surfing related?
related to the interstate and the love songs or anything like that?
Well, let's start with the surfing, because I mean, like we have watched a lot of surfing documentaries, but I don't know why they're just so fascinating. Even though I have never surfed, they're like kind of like chill.
Yeah, they usually have like really good music.
And really great cinematography and all that stuff. And so we just watched this one that we had not seen before called Facing Monsters.
Yeah.
And that was kind of wild. It was like more than I expected.
Yeah, it was intense. I looked at it. It was like, oh, it's like an hour and it was an hour and 20 or
Yeah.
maybe even longer, hour and 40. And I was like, oh, fuck, man. Like, but I was just like riveted the whole time. It's, I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head right now, but.
Well, it's just a really unusual surfing story.
Yeah.
And just someone that like sought out just the scariest and most dangerous spots to surf.
Yeah.
And just kind of his story. So recommend that for sure. It's just kind of like a glimpse into, I mean, he was just so unafraid of these waves and these spots in Australia that were just, so if you saw it from a boat, you'd be like, don't go over there.
Yeah. Danger, man. Don't ever go over there.
Yeah. Don't ever get
like,
wrapped up in that. And he's like, hey, take me over there and I'm going to surf that.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
It's these waves like that are breaking on like this exposed reef and breaking into it. And like,
he's like surfing on a rock, basically, like and being pummeled into a rock, like on purpose. It's just like weird.
Definitely
Weird.
surfing it
Wild.
on purpose. I don't know if pummeling into the rock on purpose, but like, yeah, I don't know, man. It's intense, but just a really good documentary from like credits to credits, man. Even like the credit song that's playing, I was just like listening to it and being like,
Yeah, that's when you know it's good, when you like actually watch the credits, because you're like, yeah, this song was right.
Totally. Yeah. So Facing Monsters, give that a watch if you get a second. I think it's on like, I don't know, Amazon or something like that. And the Google machine or Chat GPT will tell you if you're not sure. Just ask it.
Yeah, just watch the Chat GPT version. It'll be the same thing.
Ask Scarlett.
Give you a summary. Yeah, but we also watched this other interesting interview, not surfing related, with the Rick Beato. Is that how you say his name?
Beato.
Beato.
Yeah.
Rick Beato. His channels, he always, interviews musicians in a way that I find really kind of cool, because he, instead of like interviewing a musician asking about all the stuff you've already heard about, like band drama or, whatever, like, oh, what was it like when you got your first gold record or whatever, he talks more about like, the recording process and like what instruments did you use, how'd you write that song, like all the things that, like, if you play music or you're just like a fan of the music, like you would be interested in hearing about. And it's pretty unique. And he did one with the guy from Stone Temple Pilots, Robert DeLeo. And sorry, Robert DeLeo. And I always thought he was just like the bass player, right? Didn't you?
No,
You
like
knew?
I did at first.
Oh, okay.
And then like after I was, what they were talking about, like on Robert's new record, like the liner notes, like having all the, personnel listed for each track and the studio and all this shit. Like, I mean, I remember looking at my Stone Temple Pilots, like pouring over my Stone Temple Pilots CD, like liner notes and stuff like that. Reading everything about Purple and who was on this track and stuff. And then I was like, oh wait, like Robert is like credited with either this like sole songwriting credit, which I think most of them were actually like, I don't remember for sure, but it seems like they were one of those bands who did like everybody, so that everybody would get a share of the royalties that way. But maybe not. I don't remember for sure. It's been a long time. But like, I don't know. Like looking over that stuff and like hearing them talk about that, I was like, oh yeah, it got me nostalgic for the STP days a little bit.
Totally. Yeah, me too.
But like what you were saying, so right on. Like it's, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's like a really popular, well-known show. So this is probably not like news to you, but I don't know. We just started watching some of the interviews with people that we're interested in. Billy Corgan was interesting. We watched one with like Chris Novoselic and Kim Thale and somebody else who I'm not remembering off the top of my head. But that was interesting too, and just kind of weird. And then this one with what's his name?
Robert.
Robert DeLeo. And it seems like there was one other one. But
So
maybe I'm not remembering.
I just like idolized Stone Temple Pilots like back when they were, just popular or whatever in the 90s. And that was when we had the band. So I always like was like, man, if I could only play like that guy, you
Yeah.
know? And, but I never played any Stone Temple Pilot songs while we were in the band. And then, long after when the internet arrived, I was like, oh, I can get all these like, bass lines and stuff and learn how to play these songs now because that'd be fun. And then I like tried to play one and I was like, oh my God, like what is wrong? What?
Yeah.
Like he wrote some really like complex and strange bass lines that are just insanely difficult to play. And he was talking about it. I was just like, he just did it because that's what he wanted to do. He likes it. He just likes the way it sounds. It's just kind of like he could have done it the easy way, but it wouldn't be as good of an album, So
Yeah.
like I was like, yeah, wow. I never knew he was the brains of the band and
Songwriting wise.
songwriting wise, yeah.
But it sounds like a lot of people contributed and stuff too. But yeah, it seems like at least from that interview, like that he was like a really like main core driver core
No pun intended.
of
their success
of the
I mean,
songwriting in that band, specifically or whatever, and with lots of collaboration. But that's interesting because at first I didn't think about that at all. But it was cool like having him, hearing him talk about and like demonstrate some of the like chord progressions on core. And stuff. And like when I was listening to Core and like Forever, I'm just like, it's such a meathead record. Like the bass drum sounds like it's like hitting like the drum beater thing. It has like a rod that's like 10 feet long and it's like winding up and hitting like a side of beef or something. Like it's so like just balls out. Like
it's got a lot of toxic masculinity.
Oh yeah, big time. And like hearing him talk about some of those songs, demonstrating some of the chord progressions, I was like, oh yeah, it's really like this is a really interesting song and a really interesting record and like an interesting way to approach writing this type of song that ended up sounding like some meathead kind of band, but better.
Like hard rock
it definitely
band.
Stuck out to me. I was like, oh, I want to learn how to play that on guitar.
Yeah. It always like, I mean, people were always like, why do you want to listen to that? Like people are just like, why would you want to listen to that? Because it's just like so heavy and it's so, I don't know, it's just like very male dominated or whatever. But I don't know, I just always really liked it. And then hearing him talk about it finally made me realize, oh, this is like a very delicate little acoustic song wrapped up in this like hardcore distortion. And that I think that's why, because it is interesting under the surface.
Yeah. Totally.
And yeah, so it's strange. And anyway, you should just watch it. It was an interesting story if you're into that kind of thing.
Check it out. Yeah, if you like getting like super in-depth info that you probably wouldn't get in like a Spin magazine, interview or
and
like
if you care about
story.
Equipment, it's interesting.
Like how a song, like how a chord progression is for this song, and like maybe they'll play it for you and demo it. Maybe you'll hear
something new.
Robert DeLeo like play the bass line for like Tripping on a Hole in a Paper Heart or whatever, and like
and be like, whoa.
Yeah, that's why I could never figure out how to play that shit. Fuck you, man. Fuck you, Robert DeLeo.
Oh, rude.
We're beefing. No,
rude.
No, we're not. You're awesome. That's a great interview.
Okay.
And it made me want to listen to his new record, which I haven't done yet. But
I think I will, because I know he's piqued my interest, and I kind of forgot about him, to be honest. So that kind of sucks for him. I'm sure that's kind of like the similar story. But you shouldn't forget about people who are that talented. Like, I mean... Yeah, you should listen to whatever they're doing because it seems like you should give it a chance.
Yeah.
I
Totally.
mean, yeah. So speaking of, rude beef, you got some beef with like these get off my lawn kind of terms that you've been embracing of late. And
Yeah. I was thinking about that the other day because I couldn't remember what we actually talked about, but we had like, stupid slang
Yeah.
corner where we talked about, your slang bullshit of the week was like no crumbs.
Yeah.
And mine was Riz or whatever, which I still just am finding to be terrible and stuff. But it's such like an old man thing to do, to get up and like shake your fist at the sky, like, and yell "get off my lawn" words like Rob Schraub on Harmontown. But yeah, so I don't know. It got me thinking like, okay, well, I mean, surely there is slang that I've adopted, that you've adopted, that everybody or that we've adopted as a society that like I thought was bullshit at first, but then like whatever, use it like ironically or whatever.
Hey, if it's funny, I'll use it.
Or unironically, and
I
then
mean,
it goes out of fashion, and then you start using it ironically, and then it comes back like something like tight. Like what? I don't know. Is tight back? You guys tell me.
I think so. Yeah. I don't think it ever went away, unfortunately.
Tight never left, and tight is tight, and I like tight. But like I remember there was a time definitely like when one friend in particular would say tight or whatever, and I'd be like, yeah. Like,
well, I love
bitchin'.
using that word to describe music.
Oh yeah.
Okay, if
So
like if the
tight.
band is tight, like you know exactly what that means. It means like they know how to play, they got their shit together. It was entertaining,
Yeah.
and you don't need to say all that. You can just say tight.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're like, that outfit's tight, I mean, that's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
If it's actually not form fitting.
Yeah. So I don't know if I guess maybe tight is one. Like I got mad about Skrilla a long time ago. I don't think that ever caught on. So thank God. I guess you're welcome, worlds, for my like probably like blogspot rant about Skrilla one time, or like Facebook or something, 8 to 10 years ago.
Surely that's been
I mean,
turned into a meme by now, right?
yes. Wouldn't that be crazy? Like if you were a meme, if you were the subject of a meme that like whatever mimetically spread and like
Yeah.
whatever, like, and you didn't know it.
I think that
Like-
happens a lot, actually.
Like what if you're like good guy Steve or whatever,
the front or what is it? Chef's kiss.
oh, the chef's kiss?
What if you were that guy and you didn't know it?
What if you're the guy like, turning around like looking at the girl in the red dress's butt or whatever?
I think you would know that because that's a stock photo.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
For what?
Cheating.
For what?
Cheating, probably.
For cheating. It's a stock photo for cheating.
With someone that has to research stock photos, there really is one for everything.
Okay.
I mean, and you can get into the most inappropriate topic and there's still a stock photo for it, but it's just like real dumbed down. So it's like you could use it in a news article and not get in trouble,
Well, let's keep this thing on rails.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right. Like enough with
Excuse me.
enough with these tangents that you take us
Excuse me.
off on. We were talking about stupid slang, and
Okay.
yeah, it made me think of this and that, and like, okay, that's the maybe the tight is one for me. Like, do you have some bit of slang that you heard that initially you were like, what the fuck is that, or that's so stupid, and then now you say it all the time, or eventually you like adopted it as just like part of your life?
I did not like the dude thing at first. I didn't use that. I was real against that. I didn't like, like rad.
Rad? You didn't like rad?
No. I didn't like all the 80s slang, like bodacious, radical.
Bitchin'? Is that? That's
I
not
liked
80s.
bitchin', but I use that.
But that's not 80s
No,
probably.
that's
right?
like
That was
60s.
already like coming back around.
Yeah. Yeah. That's like originated in the hippie era.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah. Those. I'm trying to think of another example. But anyway, like I can't think of something other than tight right now. Yeah, but that made me think of like the first time that somebody called me dude. Like I think I was like, I don't know, not very old, 7 or 8 maybe or something. And like an older kid who was like a skateboarder and stuff in our neighborhood. And I remember he like would, was that called where you like make your pant leg like,
Oh, peg your pants.
he would peg his pants and stuff like that. And he goes, he called me dude, but it was like, yeah, see you later, dude, or something like that, you know, after swinging by on his skateboard. And like, I was so miffed, man. I was so offended at being called dude.
Why?
And I think like maybe I'd only heard dude as like a dude ranch or like a cowboy thing or something like that. And yeah, but I say dude now all the time.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And for sure. Like totally.
Oh, you know, one piece of slang I've tried to give up,
What's that?
you know, per your recommendation, is, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know, I picked that up like probably when I was like 11, and I say it all the time, unless I think about it.
Now, did you pick that up from watching hip hop artists like interviews on MTV? Because that's the
Are
only
you trying to
place.
say I'm like racist or something?
No, I mean maybe like a slight, not that you could know you were doing this, but like a slight bit of like cultural appropriation or something, but just probably more like, you know, speaking a certain way through osmosis. Not that you would like try to sound black or something like that, but like
I think actually it was the other kids that I went to school with who did have MTV and it also came
because
from.
you didn't have it.
I didn't have it. So like other kids like came from big cities to our little rinky-dink town, and then they would just have all this slang that we had never heard before. You know what I mean? And so we were just like absorbing it, and I think it just became a cool thing. And so if you were like, well, if you want to be cool,
Yeah.
you gotta play this game. You gotta be tough.
that.
You gotta be a tough guy. And then I don't know. I think it crept in and I didn't even know it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. These are the people who, you know, maybe like 8 to 10 years later needed to learn to be calm, cool, and wiser.
yeah, well, a
Yeah,
few of
and,
these
like,
people,
hard and tough and stronger and all this.
a few of these people really like, yeah, they like went to juvie and stuff. So, you know, so
Yeah.
yeah, it was legit.
Rest in peace. Or rest in power.
So I've tried to let go of that because I guess it's just annoying.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
But it is, I actually am asking, like,
Yeah.
do you understand?
You want verbal
Yeah, I
confirmation
do.
that like you're that the
Like,
person's tracking
yeah,
with you.
yeah, I really
Right.
do. And that's why I use it, because sometimes I talk and people are just like,
Yeah. It's earnest. Yeah. It's like, is anything going in there?
yeah, hey,
Fuckface?
so you got a response? Like, let's hear
That
it.
would be the other way you could say it.
Like, would you prefer that?
No.
I'll be like talking and then I'll look at you and be like, hey, so what do you got to say, fuckface?
Little like Roman Roy style.
Yeah. I mean, I can
whatever.
be a real Roman Roy when left to my own devices, you know?
No. Don't do it.
Okay, well, you got to be nice to me.
Yeah, anyway, so from a dude hater to a dude lover in, you know, I don't know, like a couple months probably.
Did you pay your pants?
I think I did a few times, but it was always annoying. Like I couldn't get him to stay like that.
Oh, let me tell you.
Oh, did you? There was a technique, no doubt, that you would
yep.
learn if you were,
Yep.
you know, like
Cool.
if you went to public school or something, probably.
I not only learned it, but it became such a thing, like, that was so judged. Whether if you didn't have your pants pegged, like, you were gonna be heckled, maybe like, you know, harassed, you know, pushed around, whatever. So by the time I got to 6th grade, I decided I was not gonna peg my pants anymore, and I was shunned by like all these people that I'd been friends with, and made fun of just forever. And it was my rebellion. It was like my rebellious statement.
Yeah.
And so I became a complete loner. I went from having all these friends to having no friends because of
Cool.
pants pegging.
Really?
Then I ended that year by winning the talent show. It was a real Napoleon Dynamite type of situation, you know?
Yeah.
I was a real nerd. And then
Yeah,
I won
man.
the talent show.
Vote for Babe.
Anyway, I had the last laugh,
Yeah.
and then the next year I went right back to following all the trends and all the.
Did
stuff.
you start pegging your pants again, or
No,
was
that
it
was over.
gone? It was
That was
gone
over.
by then.
It was all about Daisy Dukes the next year.
Yeah.
Much harder, actually, to pull off, as I found out.
Daisy Dukes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can only imagine.
Too bad you weren't around for that. Yeah. So, shall we wrap up this cool breeze with some rusty stuff and dusty stuff?
Yeah, man. Let's get into the rusty stuff, dusty stuff, and the cobwebby corners. Let's pull out all the, all the good shit.
Yeah.
That's been sitting there neglected for a while.
That's just piling up. You don't even know.
We did shoot the cool breeze for like a fucking long time. So, I mean, it's just so fun talking in front of you guys and for you guys.
Yeah.
You know?
Are you sure?
A little like... Well, I would say, given the situation with the corners and the cobwebs and stuff, let's get the fuck on to our main topic.
Yeah, what are you waiting for?
I don't know. Well, there was some activity from some of these creatures earlier.
Yeah.
But now they seem to be chilling out pretty hardcore. But our main topic for today's podcast episode is creatures of doom.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you have any creatures of doom that you fear or dread?
We talked about sharks, and
Do you
we talked
dread
about
sharks?
an octopus's garden. I don't like I used to. Like before we moved here and stuff, like I knew I wanted to I would always get in the ocean when we went to like the coast and stuff.
Yeah.
But it was always like I was always scared about it until I was in there or whatever. Now, since we've been doing it more, we're here, the water's a little warmer and stuff. I'm not as scared, but like I don't really think about like the shark thing just from educating myself and stuff. More about it, watching videos and stuff like that. It's like they're always out there swimming around with you, and extremely rare for anything for them to attack anybody. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not really that actively scared about sharks these days or whatever. Like I'm afraid of being bitten and eaten by them, sure, like everybody. But like the like extreme rarity of that happening and like the chances of it happening is just so low. And like it's just that calculation we've talked about before where like it's more important for me to be able to get in the ocean than it is to 100% always know that I'm not going to get attacked by a shark.
Yeah. Well, there's
Because it's
land
so rare.
creatures of doom too.
Oh, there's land creatures of doom. And like somebody who mountain bikes and hikes and stuff, that's another thing. It's like, okay, you can just assume that like you are in the forest with animals that would, if they decided to, like kill you or hurt you really bad
Yeah.
or whatever. And that's just always the case because they're out there.
Right.
It's the same thing in the water. And it's just super rare. So it's important enough for me to like hike and mountain bike and be in the water.
Yeah.
Where I'm not like always thinking about those creatures of doom. But they're kind of creatures of doom, and we have to admit. But like, yeah, bears, mountain lions,
Rattlesnakes.
rattlesnakes. I've thought a lot about rattlesnakes. I've had recurring rattlesnake dreams.
Wow. I've had recurring shark dreams,
Yeah.
So.
Those are good creatures of doom. But I mean, other creatures of doom would be like, our pets and stuff, like fucking the Great Danes.
Oh, yeah.
Juno.
Oh, yeah.
Putting Paul's, our Great Danes, like surgery on the credit card and having it having that debt stick around for, I don't know, 7 or 8 years or something like that.
Yeah, there's that. But I
Emergency
also
stomach surgery,
Yeah. There is always that lingering doom that comes along with caring for animals, you know.
Ah, yeah,
But also, I like Great Danes because, they're good dogs, but also they have a certain look about them.
they do.
They have a hellhound kind of look about them,
Especially those black and white ones.
Yeah. Or if you get an all black one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. They're real scary.
Real.
But they're not scary at all. They're just goofballs. But
Yeah.
people think they're scary.
Yeah.
And so,
Because they're big. They got the square head, big jaws.
yeah, they kind of look like a gargoyle a little bit. And so after I was reading that, a Dirty Job book, and there's a whole section in there about the hellhounds.
Yeah.
And how they protect the baby, who really is death.
Yep.
I was like, oh man, this is totally the Great Danes. This is like my, vision. They're like guarding the castle,
Yeah.
like waiting for the enemy so they can pounce.
Yeah.
And it's funny. I do have a thing for black and white animals, obviously, but I like black and white things, generally speaking.
Yeah.
So now we have black and white cats, and they are kind of like a reincarnation of the Great Danes in certain ways. They're very dog-like,
Yeah.
and it's kind of strange.
Yeah. They,
I mean-
they like come most of the time when you call them and stuff like that.
They know how to sit.
Cats don't do that. They kind of like pay attention to, they're just
Yeah.
not super, they're super feline, but they have some,
Well, yeah.
they have some canine like attributes for sure
Yeah.
that we've noticed. So yeah, those are our creatures of doom.
Yeah, you all probably have a creature of doom
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
I
write in, send.
Maybe it's like a horrible moth
Yeah.
or a bat.
Like we should have like Team Babe like creature of doom trading cards where it's just like
Ooh, I like
you know,
that. Like a
like a-
tarot card.
yeah.
Ah, okay. I'm designing it now as you're talking.
Yeah. It's gonna be cool, man. And we can make it into like a poker deck. later,
Yeah.
too. Or,
Yeah.
Anyway, so if anybody like that's our idea, all right?
Okay, that's our idea. So don't take it. Okay, just wait for the product and then buy it.
And Creatures of Doom actually has a nice, we realized, tie-in. Well, I mean, we sort of, like, if we're being honest, we
planned
kind of
it.
like,
We did this on purpose.
backdoored this thing a little bit,
Yeah.
But our song of the week this week just so happens to be
Wouldn't you know?
a song by a band called Creature of Doom. I think we've talked about one of their songs before, but we never featured it.
Yeah.
Featured one of their songs as a song of the week. But
And they're very obscure, but like it's a cool little E EP.
I would love more music from
Yeah,
Creature of Doom.
me too.
Anyway, this week's song of the week is, and like I didn't remember that this was the title, so I had to look it up. Some Other World,
Yeah.
by Creature of Doom. So you'll find that on the updated Team Babe Song of the Week
Playlist. Yeah, the mixtape.
Yep.
Like that's a great name for a band called Creature of Doom because really a Creature of Doom does come from some other world,
Yeah.
and that's why they're scary.
From another world in the universe.
Like the
or
ocean.
out of the universe.
That's another world.
Yeah. You know what I realized too, when you mentioned Creatures of Doom and pets or whatever
Yeah.
earlier, is like there is like this doom that, I mean, not to bring it down or anything, but with pet
keep it funny.
ownership, there's a doom aspect to like eventually everything and everybody's going to die. And,
So true.
you know,
Thanks for that reminder.
yeah. So, I mean, I look at that as like a joyful, uplifting, sentiment because that means like it's up to us to like make great use of every second of our time and just like earnestly pursue living our best life, whatever that is for us.
Creatures of Doom be damned.
Yeah. So I guess in that respect, I am a creature of doom. And my eventual doom hopefully will lead to, amazing stuff being in the world. Like, podcasts where I just talk shit for an hour or something with my best babe, my only babe.
Hey, I mean, that's what life's all about.
It
you
is.
know, that's what we do.
Yeah,
That's our jam.
that's our jam. And we are a jam band.
Except I don't jam.
Yeah.
Maybe someday.
No jams.
No jams.
Pump up the jam.
No jam.
Yeah.
What about Star Jam?
Well, we could star jam.
Okay, let's start
Yeah,
jam.
let's star jam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, babe, I love star jamming with you, and I love you.
Love you too.
This podcast was recorded right here in our home studio in Encinitas, California.
So if you like this episode, please consider liking and subscribing for more.